$1,000 saved.
Here now is the founder and CEO of Ramsey Solutions, the financial icon himself, the master, the one and only Dave Ramsey. Dave, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. So a two-part question for you. Does that number 1.46 million to retire, does that sound right to you? And if so, how does anybody get to that massive number for their retirement?
Well, it's not enough for some, and it's way too much for others. So, I don't know where that number comes from. It's something somebody just dreamed up in a poll. But obviously, where you live, how you choose to live, the standard of living you want to retire at, gives you the number that you need annually. And then we can back into the size of your nest egg that you need. So for $1 million, should generate, say, 8%. That'd be $80,000 a year to live off of. If you can live comfortably off of $80,000, then $1 million's enough. If you need 160, it sounds like you need $2 million. So somewhere in there. But yeah, you can do it. You just need to start saving again. The good news is that we have found, we did the largest study ever done of millionaires in North America. And we found that the typical millionaire in America did not inherit their money. 89% were not millionaires because of inheritance. They did it the old-fashioned way. They earned it. And the number one way they became millionaires was just simply putting money in their 401k over a long period of time and getting their home paid off. It really wasn't rocket surgery.
A lot of people don't really understand that it's a long-term game that you play, but we live in an Instagram's, society to where they're so focused on the now and they so focused on what they perceive wealth to be when they don't even understand money. Money is basically like when you talk about being a millionaire. I remember it was a guy that said, man, I don't believe that this person is a cash millionaire. What the hell is a cash millionaire? It's about assets, right? It's assets minus liabilities. And that's how you determine what your net worth is, which then determines whether or not you're a millionaire. Most people don't have $1,000 saved, but a lot of it is just based off of self-inflicted wounds, meaning that it's their lifestyle, it's their refusal to actually do something long enough to let it pay off for them. Most people don't even have a calculation. They're going to be broke when they wind up, getting to retirement age, and they're not going to leave anything to their children. We then pass things over to generational curses instead of generational wealth. And it's a basic formula. You don't need no new math. You don't need anything like that. It's a reverse engineering. So how much are you going to want to have? Or what do you want your lifestyle to look like when you retire? And I kind of teach the same thing, but I teach it completely differently. How do you want your life to be when you retire? For me, I have a number in my mind. That number is about, well, I'm not going to tell you the number because I told myself that I would start living my life a little bit more offline and I would just give my thoughts because I don't feel like I need to do that anymore. You know who I am. You know what my background is. It is what it is. Shout out to the Chasers. If you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, link to the Patreon is in the description. But what you want your life to look like, what is that number on a monthly and then a yearly basis? And then you reverse engineer how you're supposed to get there based off of how long you think it's going to take you in order to, how long your lifespan is going to be so that you don't run out of money. And the best case scenario is really about keeping the principal and continuously adding to the principal while still being able to maintain your lifestyle. And then you work really hard and you stay down long enough to actually be able to do that. And he said it. He said, listen, most people are contributing into the things that's going to take care of them long term. They're not focused on it now. And I think that that's the thing that's very difficult for young people is that the only thing they care about is their lifestyle now. And they're not really focused on the sacrifice. And sacrifice partly comes from you doing the thing that's in your best interest long term. But let me continue and see what he got to say.
Dave, I want to ask you, the Wall Street Journal wrote this piece, it was probably a month and a half ago, about Dave Ramsey tells millions what to do with their money. People under 40 say he's wrong. There's a hashtag on the TikTok, which I don't use, but it says hashtag Dave Ramsey wouldn't approve. And
you know what the funniest part about that? And I haven't even seen these videos, but I think that I'm going to do a whole series on that on the Millionaire Morning Show on Monday, so tune into that. How are people that's broke going to talk to a millionaire dude that has no debt and didn't even leverage debt in order to get rich? How they going to tell him how you're supposed to get rich? It doesn't matter how nice you are, don't matter how God-fearing you are, how good your information is, don't matter what your background is. People are going to reject it no matter what.
It's a bunch of young people who essentially openly flout your recommendations. about living more frugally and saving. And I'm just going to let you respond, but I think that's going to blow up in their face, because once you start living high on the hog, you live that life, you want to live that lifestyle for the rest of your life, and you're not going to have the money to do it. But what say you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything on social media, you can find a lot of fun stuff on me. I'm real good clickbait, so it works really good. So have at it. But yeah, and it's always been that way. I've been doing this for 35 years, and there's always a group of people who say you can't do it. And so the system has to change, and they're a victim, and they're entitled. And, you know, TikTok gives them a voice, or Instagram gives them a voice, or whatever, but it's always been that way. On talk radio, we gave them a voice. They could call in and scream at me, and it was fun. It made great radio. But the truth is that this Gen Z generation and the millennials, who caught a bunch of crap, are excellent generations. What we're seeing with both of them is there is a segment of them that is very serious and very good with their money. They believe in it. They believe in saving, they believe in investing, that they believe in the free enterprise system. And then there's a segment of them that just sucks. They're just awful. I mean, their participation trophy, they live in their mother's basement, and they can't figure out why they can't buy a house because they don't work, you know, and stuff like that. But I've got 400 millennials, 500 millennials working on our team here at Ramsey. They're incredible. I love them. Gen Z all over the building. I love them. They're fabulous. And so it's just this one segment of whiners on TikTok or something that pops up because they don't want to face the fact that they got to control the person in their mirror.
So true. You know, these young people that suck, they want to live and spend like they've worked and saved for 35 years, and it doesn't work that way.
And that's true. That is always going to be, it doesn't matter what industry you is, but especially in finances, and especially in relationships, and even to a larger extent, spirituality, there's going to be a segment of people that do not subject themselves to it. They are going to reject it. They don't want to put the work in. I got a video later on today that I got in my mind that I want to tell you all a story about based off of a reaction video that I did, and the dude rejected it, and then he sent me an email today, this morning, and I'm going to go over it and I'm going to break it down. But people are lazy, honestly, and they don't want to say that they're lazy, even though we live in the most technologically advanced time ever before. Most people even have some sort of a hybrid to where they work from home, you know, at the very least, and, you know, so much opportunity to make so much money, and then they fumbled it, and then they want to complain about it and make TikTok. It's amazing to me how people are just continuously, and even Dave Ramsey said it, running in the victim Olympics, not really taking responsibility for who they are. And then that's going to translate into them being absolutely under duress later on because they mortgage a future for how they feel right now. And what you're getting right now as a result of it is just a penny. It's like you're getting pennies on a dollar to do what you want to do now. And then all of the money that you could make and change the course of the people that come after you, it could be incredible, but they reject it. And it's unfortunate. And again, the methods of what it takes to be successful, it's a very, very easy method. And then you can modify it slightly, depend on career path and stuff like that. But it's a very straightforward method. It's not rocket science. It's really stand down long enough and then getting the business acumen, which we'll spend all of our time, resources, money, and energy on stuff that don't add value into our life. But then we won't pick up a book. We won't study nothing. We won't actually invest in ourselves. And we won't even pick the career that's going to net us a better lifestyle. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, make sure that you guys leave a comment, hit a like for the algorithm, and then tap into the Millionaire Morning Show in the after hours. Absolutely awesome. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.